Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots. Blue liquor shields, desolate peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Let's go back to Syria again, as promised. Let's talk about what's unfolding in Syria, and particularly Aleppo, because there's a peace deal being presented to the so-called rebels, and if the agreement is accepted, it will be somewhat of a victory for Assad, and he may claim victory. Aleppo apparently is somewhat 90% back in government hands, and now they want to move more civilians out and give safe passage. Supposedly the U.S.-Russia draft gives safe passage to the so-called rebels, and they're required to leave heavy weapons behind. So this is where it gets just crazy and stupid as shit again, because now we have this idea that they're going to give safe passage. So why are they saving all the rebels? I mean, are they going to save Al-Qaeda members around Aleppo and U.S. give them safe passage, which is really truly ironic. But even more ironic, like I say, giving safe passage, having them abandon their heavy weapons, and then at the same time, in these last couple of days, Obama is going to grant a waiver for arms supplies to these U.S.-backed fighters in Syria, more heavy weapons. He wants exceptions. Of course, as always, we make government laws and rules for a particular reason, and then they just circumvent them. In this case, exceptions from the provisions in the Arms Export Control Act make sure they don't go to terrorists now. So we want to waive that so we can send more guns to the terrorists. And so here we are again, following this failed policy in Syria for years under the Obama administration and previously under Bush. This whole failed policy of training so-called moderates, training anyone there, training. U.S. advisors training, and sending them more and more arms, and so they're going to leave Aleppo, give up their arms, and then the U.S. is going to give them a whole bunch of brand new ones, and a lot of them, and a lot of heavy weapons. So really kind of crazy, but in some ways this had to unfold this way, because with Trump talking about the idea he wants to work with Russia and get the United States out of there, that Russia and Syria will maintain the situation in Syria, that the moderates, of course, are going to, considering they think they're going to get completely cut off, they're threatening to align with Al-Qaeda, which is a pretty, another thing that's just utterly crazy as fuck, is because they're already aligned with Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra Front, in spite of the so-called name change that they had. Everything we've seen points to the fact that they're still affiliated with Al-Qaeda, and there's still exchanges, and a lot of these weapons that are going to supposedly go to the moderates under this Obama arms waiver are now going to end up in the hands of Al-Qaeda, like they always have. So once again, this U.S. history of abandoning their proxy armies, the same way they're going to end up abandoning the Kurdish at some point. And so the House bill passed, and they want to give anti-aircraft missiles to the Syria opposition, and things really get complicated there. But of course, we got a lot of these nuts in Congress, and Obama's going to give them leeway, and we're going to end up giving anti-aircraft, U.S. is going to end up giving anti-aircraft weaponry and missiles, and more sophisticated ones, to the so-called Syria opposition that's on the ropes right now. And what could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Like the fact that they're negotiating for another ceasefire. What's going to happen? Everybody's just going to reposition like they did before. So that's just more spinning around in the hamster wheel as usual. And who knows what's going on between John Kerry and Russia over this, but it seems to change every day. But once again, all these crazy ideas, these tired ideas, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing twice and expecting different results is self-evident. And but anyway, any day now is Assad going to declare victory in Aleppo, and perhaps some kind of overall victory in Syria, taking back his country. So in the United States, they always talk about taking back their country, but in Syria, it looks like Assad is actually going to do it. I'm a Useful Idiot. Don't you be one too?